Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Sharbano. I work as an Education USA advisor at Education USA Pakistan. I did my Fulbright from the US at the George Washington University, where I pursued a master's program in international development studies. And I finished only last year in 2025. So I'll begin with introducing Education USA Pakistan. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Just a thumbs up would be good. Yeah, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, Education USA in Pakistan is basically the US Education Foundation in Pakistan, and we provide advising in each city, which is Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, all three major cities in Pakistan, and the Fulbright program, of which I am an alumna myself. So, basically, the Fulbright program supports Pakistani students with pursuing graduate education in the United States, fully funded scholarship which provides support with the tuition fee, accommodation, living costs, books, and airfare as well. And the Fulbright program is not just in Pakistan, it's in almost all countries in the world, but the one in Pakistan is the biggest program because each year the maximum number of students out of the entire world get the Fulbright scholarship in Pakistan. So we are Education USA is part of the US Department of State. We provide you with accurate, current, and comprehensive information, and we also offer resources and guidance on how to find the best fit university. And we provide, virtual sessions like this one that we're having today with Annie from Indiana Tech University. We also offer one-on-one advising services, access to our resource library, and workshops on the GRE, SAT, and TOEFL exam. So, in addition to three advising centers in Pakistan, we also have Lincoln Corners, and the Lincoln Corners in Punjab are in Lahore, Sargodha, Faisalabad, Multan, and Bihari, and these are partnerships with universities in each of these cities to house a Lincoln Corner there. And you can go to our website to register for our free advising services. You can email us at lahoreeducationusa.org. Here are some of our social media handles. You can follow us, get the most updated advice, and all of our webinars like this one is going to be uploaded on our YouTube page at EduSA Pakistan. And you can also follow the Lahore Consulate on X, Instagram, and Facebook for all updated information in case you're having any partnerships or collaborations with them. And for all information related to the visas, you can go on the embassy website, which is usembassy.gov. And yeah, that's it from my side, and I will hand it over to you, Annie. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them out in the Q&A box, and we will get to the questions at the end of the presentation.
Thank you so much, Sharbano. Thank you. Before we start, I share my screen. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, as Sharbano already explained a little bit about EduSA, thank you so much for collaborating with us. My name is Annie Safdar. I work at Indiana Tech at International Admission Counselor. I'm also adjunct faculty here. I teach business classes. Some background. I am also from Lahore, Pakistan. So I did my MS psychology from GC. Then I moved to United States. I did MBA. So I did utilize OPT. That's after you finish your master's in US, you are eligible to work for a couple of years. And then I did a doctorate in business administration from another university. So I'm alumni of Indiana Tech, where I currently work. So today we will be talking more about um, how US universities actually evaluate your education. evaluate your application. So since you already studied at Pakistan, so now you want to apply for United States. So we will cover more about the holistic approach. Many students believe that admission is all about GPA. But no, it's not the full picture. In the United States, it's mostly the whole picture, your GPA, your a lot of other factors, which we will cover in today's presentation, which is also called holistic review process. Let me go to the first slide. So this, as the presentation states, like we will be covering more about the holistic process, which means universities really look for how you can stand out as an applicant. So let's go to the first slide. Okay. Is it readable, right? So let me make it a little big. Okay. So what is holistic review? Mostly students wants to know, okay, they get the GPA 3.5 or even 4. What else is left on their side to do to stand out so they can get admission in the United States? So they could be academic ability. Okay, that's where you get from GPA. You get 100% or 90%. Okay, good. Personal story, which comes from your statement of purpose. What's your story? Why you want to do that particular master's in United States? It's mostly students, okay, which I have seen in last 5 years, they apply for any particular master's, but when they write their statement of purpose, it's not linked what they actually want to do in future. So they probably have like any medical background or mm, um, any other like general bachelor in Urdu or something, and they want to do engineering management. No, it's not linked. It has to be linked what you actually want to do. Where are you right now? So your statement of purpose should be very strong. Why you want to do this particular engineering management or STEM MBA or any MBA or any kind of information system or cybersecurity or any master's you want to do or any undergrad degree you want to do. What's the reason, what's your story behind it? So that should be. If you, Sherban, is it okay if we open the mic, students to ask questions if they want to ask while we are presenting, or you want them to ask in the end?
I think it would be better if students can type in their questions in the Q&A box, and then
Okay,
we'll get
okay,
with the questions at the
okay.
end of the
Awesome.
presentation.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. And I think Aman Bashir also joined us. Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you. Okay. So potential. So what's the potential? They also check if the student has the potential to grow and come as undergrad students or master students. It depends on their statement of purpose as well, on the letter of recommendation. Like if you worked in Pakistan or anywhere and you have a letter of recommendation and you work somewhere, always get a letter of recommendation when you move to another department or move to another company. It's always good. You can always use that as a reference when you apply anywhere. Right now, we're just talking about United States, so letter of recommendation is really helpful. Some universities are different, like at Indiana Tech, we do not require letter of recommendation, but normally, majorly all other universities, they require letter of recommendation. And if you are a fit for everything, just getting a GPA may not require you to be part of any undergrad or master's program, but they will check your whole fit. We will cover in upcoming slides a little more about it. Okay. So holistic review is used across most, US universities. So all these factors which we're going to discuss today, they are part of the application process for all the universities, not only one university, two or three. So you have to check where you stand. But some schools are different, as I just talked. We don't require at Indiana Tech statement of purpose or letter of recommendation, but we have few masters we require statement of purpose. We have a hybrid program that if you're already in your United States and you're working and you want to do study information system, yes, we do require statement of purpose because you already have a master's. So we want to know why you want to do another master's. So depend on university, what are the criteria for that particular degree. Okay. Selective students look beyond grades. Yes. So like if we talk about Harvard or if we talk about uh, big schools, yes, they just don't look at your grades. Even 2.0 GPA can get in if their statement of purpose is very strong, if their intention or if the total fit as a whole personality is fitting their program, why not? So they focus on overall student profile, not just the grades. In the meanwhile, so far, do we have any questions? I'll just wait for a second if anyone has a question. Okay. So I so this is about key components mostly universities evaluate. First we talk about academic performance. It's your GPA. Some universities they give you GPA, some universities give you percentage. So it depends on every university. Sometimes they ask you to get their transcript evaluated through a third party. There are so many companies they do that. And they charge like a couple of $100 and they check how your percentage is equivalent to United States grades. They give you a GPA. Maybe you have a percentage of 80%, but as compared to the GPA evaluation, it could be 3.5 or it could be 3.8 or something. So it depends what's the percentage you have and how the evaluation happens. But every university is different. So whenever you apply at any university, you check what's their evaluation criteria. Either you need a third-party evaluation or they are going to calculate themselves. I'm giving example at Indiana Tech, we do not require third-party evaluation. We do calculate in-house. So we have our own software. We just do it. We don't require students to go for a third party. Okay. The English proficiency. So there are three, four different categories. Mostly universities accept. Some universities they waive for you if you have already studied in the United States or UK or any other foreign English language school, they can waive it for you. Uh, but TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, and PTE, they all are accepted worldwide. But every university is their requirement may be different. Some schools they have English medium, so they give you a letter or certificate. But if that university accepts, check with them. Do you accept if I have studied in this particular school and the medium of language was English? Maybe they accept it. So check with them if they accept that. Personal statement. Yeah, so personal statement helps a lot in a way. It actually tells your story that where do you stand and what you want to do in future. Technically, it's actually showing you it's like it's same as like why you want to do PhD or why you want to do that particular master's or undergrad. Where do you stand right now? Okay, after finishing this undergrad or master's or PhD, I wanna start my own business or I wanna come back to my home country and I wanna work for this company and I have already a to whom it may concern letter or something. Maybe, so statement of purpose, actually statement of explains what's your story, why you want to do it, what is motivating you to do this master's or undergrad. So this whole thing, just make sure it has your personal touch in it, not only just ChatGPT. AI is everywhere, I understand. And since I'm adjunct here, I let students use AI, but I always tell them use help from AI but make sure you use your own words. You just get an idea from AI, but in the final, the document has to be written by you. It's no harm to use AI, but just make sure not everything is done by AI, not by you. So it has to have your personal touch, your personal story, and because you are the one who knows what's your personal story and how and why you want to do this undergrad or masters. Okay. Then we talk about letter of recommendations. They can come from your professors, it can come from your any employer you worked for, or someone you had direct interaction with. Um, so if you leave or go from one place to another, or if you graduate from that particular university, mostly professors are very happy to write like a letter of recommendation for the students. Make sure when you graduate, you have the letter of recommendation same time you graduate because after a few years, maybe professor change or they go to another university and it's very hard to locate them. But here, the interesting part is some universities require like a letter of recommendation sent out to them directly. So here you have to keep in touch with professor, and there are so many easy ways like follow them on LinkedIn, professional network. Networking is very important in the United States. It's just not about going to the university, going back home, and that's it. No, you network with your professor, with your coworkers, with everybody. And here in the United States, the best thing which I like when I was a student here, like you can work on campus, so you get professional touch while you study, and you can work up to 20 hours. Again, it depending on every university. Some universities do not require, some universities do require that you can work on campus. But majority, which I know of, you are allowed to work up to 20 hours on campus. But jobs are kind of very challenging. Like there are so many students, and probably there are like 20 or 30 jobs on campus. So they are very competitive. But since you work here, so you make a network, you talk to people, and that's how connection and network you get jobs in the United States. But our main concern for this PowerPoint is not about getting a job, but it's a holistic approach, how you're going to get into university. Okay, so letter of recommendation, very strong. Make sure you have very strong network in Pakistan, professors or your coworkers or where you work or people you interact with. Okay, here, extracurricular activities. I understand in Pakistan, we do not have a lot of extracurricular activities, but majorly, mostly universities, they do offer sports or other kind of activities. And I different universities, United States, if we talk about undergrad level, half of 50% or 40% of their recruits come from athletes. So there are ice hockey, there's soccer, football, I would say some universities have badminton, basketball, ice hockey. So these all sports, every universities they post on their pages. If you think you can compete with them or if you have already played. So undergrad admissions go by a third party, NCCA, or there are different other scholarships. They come through different websites. But if you already played in your high school, then yes, coaches recruit you directly. So how it works. So you apply for undergrad and you talk to the coach. Hey, I played basketball in my high school, or I played this. So they work with you, they check your profile, and then they offer you a scholarship. So every scholarship, there are two kinds of scholarship. One is athletic scholarship, and the other kind is academic scholarship. Academic scholarship is like just we covered academic performance. It comes from GPA. So if you have a certain GPA, like I can give you example of Indiana Tech, but every university is different. So if we look at merit-based scholarship. So if your GPA in high school is 3.75 and above, so you get 18,000 scholarship per year. Talking about cost. So the cost per year can range differently from university to university. Since I'm giving you just an example of Indiana Tech, but every university, if you apply at Purdue or if you apply at University of California, so their cost is different. So this is just an example. So at Indiana Tech, you're looking at around 33,000 to 34,000 per year. That's the cost. So out of this 18,000, if someone has a GPA in their high school 3.75, so 33,000 minus 18, so you're getting around 15,000. You're paying from the pocket 15,000, which include your housing and your academics and everything. Okay. And if you have a GPA of 3.5 to 3.74, you get 15,000. So the amount lowers down with the amount of GPA. The minimum we accept GPA is 2.0, but there's no scholarship on that. The scholarship starts from 2.4. Okay, so you get 5,000, then 2.4 to 2.78. Okay, so 2.0 to 2.4 is 5,000 per year. So that's how this is what we discussed. Um, Merit scholarship, which is academic scholarship. So, and then the athletic. So both run separate for undergrad. I'm not talking about grad yet. So, like if you have a GPA of 3.8, so you get 18,000 that scholarship, and then athletics. So you are good with basketball or track and field. Indiana Tech is very big with track and field. We won mostly our matches. So Indiana Tech is mostly famous for in Midwest for track and field. Okay. So sometimes the scholarship coaches offer 100% scholarship, which means your academic scholarship is fully covered. Sometimes you get free housing. Sometimes you get free living as well, but you still have, and you don't have to even pay for this insurance. These three factors when you come to the United States is academic, like you pay for your tuition, and then you pay for living. That's how your I-20, your document, I-20, which refers, okay, how much your academic scholarship? Okay, what's your athletic scholarship? And then your living cost. Mostly students have to take care of their living cost themselves. That's when universities ask for affidavit and financials. Like students ask, universities ask for, okay, you have to show a certain bank statement. Here, bank statement is also different for different universities. Some universities would ask for bank statement of last 6 months, that are you maintaining a certain amount in your bank for like 6 months. Some universities, they do not require. They just say, okay, just show us a document that you have this much amount in your bank. So it varies from university to university. So they actually check, do you have amount to cover for first year of studies or not? Let's suppose if I give example of Indiana Tech, 10,500 is our living cost for masters, and for academic, I mean, for classes, around 11,000. So you have to show 22,500 for masters. Same goes for closers to undergrad as well, because we just checked 33,000 is the cost. So if you minus the academic scholarship, you probably have to show 15,000. So you have to work with your coach, you have to work with your counselor, that how much I have to show in my financials. Like again, if we talk about the holistic approach, uh, which university you're applying, I would recommend, if you're applying, make a spreadsheet, write this university, okay, what's their requirement in English language proficiency? What's their requirement in personal statement? Do I have to submit personal statement? Do I have to submit letter of recommendation? Or either any of my activities can apply if you have a sports background? Maybe not. So here it's not just about sports. We're not talking about just sports. It could be, oh, I was the president in my high school, or I was leading this, working for this NGO, or I was just volunteering my time here and there. I was working for my college magazine or something. So these things does matter, and they can be part of your personal statement too. Like, I want to be at this level in my career, and I have been doing this in last 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, however your experience is. So extracurricular is all about, either it could be sports, either it could be your anything other than your academics. Okay, so anything non-academic which you can sell. So actually you're selling yourself to university. Like, I can be a potential candidate for you, and I want to do this in future, and I could be a very good student. So some universities, after looking at your statement of purpose, they may offer you a scholarship. It depends. So every university is different. And we're talking about work experience. So some students, so if you finish your high school, or if you finish your master's or undergrad of 4 years, or even 3 years. So students who have undergrad of 3 years, like 2 years of undergrad and 2 years of master's, or 3 years of bachelor or BS, you are eligible to apply to master's program in the United States. If you have 12th grade, like you have finished your 12th grade, so you are eligible to apply for undergrad in the United States. So that's how it works. In the meanwhile, do we have any questions? I mean, anyone can unmute and ask me any question. If I have to slow down, or any feedback, share, Bono.
I think it's all good for now. We do
Okay.
have a couple of questions in the Q&A box. I
Okay.
think you should be able to see them.
Okay, let
It's
me see.
completely up to you. If you want to answer as you're
Okay,
going,
yeah,
you can. If you like to answer at the
okay.
end, completely your choice.
Let me open it because I was not preparing that. Okay. Okay, I can't see. Okay, there was. Okay, quite Q&A. Let me see. Okay. So the first question is who is the best option for recommendation letters? So yeah, we just covered it could be your professor. If it's coming from your professor, amazing. I have his one recommendation letter, like a general one, not related to any university. That's ideal to get it from your professors or even from your if you're working somewhere, just get it done from there too. Okay. At least how much GRE marks are needed for masters in social sciences? How much GRE has leverage in admission process? So every university, they have their own criteria. Since we're talking about holistic approach, some universities ask for higher GRE and some universities ask for a minimum level. And some universities do not ask for any GRE. So there are three different categories. So since I recommended make a spreadsheet, which university you're applying, type in GRE, GMAT, whichever they are offering or requiring, write which score they not need. Okay. And then I'm giving example of Indiana Tech. We do not require GRE or GMAT, even for a master's or engineering. So every university is different. So when you know which state, so how university students they actually figure out which school they want to go. They check where they have family members or where they have other students or their friends. So that's the first criteria, mostly students. But if you do your holistic approach, check all the university which may interest. So let's suppose if you want to do computer science or cybersecurity or artificial intelligence, some universities start offering artificial intelligence masters. So check which university is offering and use AI for that. Okay, ask, oh, I want to live next in the Midwestern United States or in the West Coast or East Coast. West Coast is like California side, and Midwest is like Indiana, like Chicago. We're talking about Ohio, these kind of states. And on the East Coast, we're talking about New York, Philadelphia, Virginia, these kind of states. So check where you'll be more comfortable to apply and use ChatGPT. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're just getting help from AI. Okay, I want to do masters in AI. Okay, when you find those universities, okay, write them down. Okay, what's their GRE requirement? What's the GMAT requirement? And these kind of things. Sorry, I hope I answered your question. Okay. Are there any other scholarship like for debaters? So you can always write your this strong point of you're a debater or you have been participating and you are in public speaking and you can talk extracurricular activities as well as statement of purpose. This could be a plus point, and some students even apply with your resume when they apply any grad school or undergrad school, and that's a very plus. So, but it can be part of your personal statement as well, which is a very strong point. But since every university is different, I don't know any university yet which require for debaters, but if you are applying for policy management or these kind of master's program or undergrad program, maybe they do offer. But we have to do some research, what kind of master we're applying for, and maybe they're offering public speaking, or maybe there's a public speaking master's or something. Maybe they offer that. But if I get to know, you can always message me on my um, email, this one, and this is my email, and I will see if I can just remind me after a couple of weeks. If I have any answer, I will get back to you. Okay. And we have another question. Are there any current scholarship being offered for graduate degrees? And if varied kinds of scholarship are also available for graduate degree as well, if university offer collaborative research projects with health and tech industry. Okay, that's a very good question. So mostly grad students in different universities, they do get scholarships, but you have to apply for those scholarships. There is a deadline for that, probably in August or October. But Some universities have open enrollment all year long. They have every 2 months, they have intakes. They can take students, and their scholarship deadline varies every 2 months or so. Some universities, their fees are already too much, and they give you a scholarship of certain amount. So when you evaluate applying for a school, check what's the total cost for that program. Okay, how much is a living cost in that particular state, because every state here is different. Imagine like living in Islamabad or Lahore or Karachi. It varies a little bit, but not a big difference, but it does matter which area of Islamabad you're living. Okay, which area in Lahore you're living. So the cost does matter. So in the same way, when we apply in the United States, we check which state we're moving to. Okay, if we're moving to New York, the apartment, you have to living in shared accommodation. You're getting a room with different roommates, or maybe a separate room. It costs from $2,000 to $3,000. Same for California as well. But if you're moving to the Midwest side, you're probably getting the whole apartment in 3,000 or 2,000. Just for reference, in Fort Wayne, you can get your own apartment and with one bedroom or even two bedrooms for like $1,100. So the cost varies. Some, I mean, everyone has a different say, but some do say it depends on which university you graduate from, and some say it doesn't matter. It's up to you. What is your preference? You want to go to a big school or you want to go to a private school? All it matters how much, what's your preference, what you want to do in your life, and which master you're playing. But I would say if you want to do a certain major, like if you want to do cybersecurity and you're just settling for MBA, like you want to do cybersecurity and you are settling for MBA because of the cost, I would say that's the point you have to consider why you are settling for something you don't want to do, because that's all about your life. You have to study that particular, you have to find a job in that particular major, you have to go with that major all your life. So this is something to think. Do your SWOT analysis. Here I would say SWOT, SWOT, do that for you so you know what you actually want to do in your life. Settling for something, I wanted a quote, Steve Jobs quote, never settle for less. That's my favorite quote. And that actually gave me a different perspective in my life that, okay, I am gonna do what I aim for, and I'm not gonna settle for something which I don't wanna do. Okay. So, and for, yeah, at Indiana Tech, there are no scholarships for grad students, but different student universities, they do offer, because our tuition cost is same for domestic student. I was talking to one other student. He was at a different university. So for locals, the cost per credit is 550, and the same for the international student was 1,600. So it was a wide, like 30 per 200%. That's a lot of difference. But Indiana Tech, the cost is same, is standard for everyone. So the whole master's you can finish at Indiana Tech is around 18,000 to 21,000, depending which master you're doing. But so we do not offer scholarships, but you can always work on campus and if you get a job. And yeah, so that's how it works. Okay, let's go to the, I hope I answer your question. In case not, then just message again. Which universities has less fee mechanism? Okay, less fee means minimum fees. Okay, so if you are, it depends on which master you apply. Mostly MBAs are slightly flexible with fees as compared to engineering management, like the cost per credit at Indiana Tech. I keep giving reference of Indiana Tech because I work there, but mostly other universities follow the same pattern. Cost per credit for MBA is 555, and for math engineering management, for information system, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence is 600. So there's a difference of $45 per credit, but it's not a big difference. But some universities, the cost adds up. Talking about undergrad, so if you're doing a business administration undergrad at Indiana Tech or any other university, So the cost will matter $2,000 to $3,000 difference because they have to add engineering cost, they have to add artificial intelligence cost. Like every subject matter expert, they have to add that cost. Okay, and let's go to so use chat AI for that, and AI will give you, sometimes AI can give you the whole holistic approach. Okay, this university, give them 4 universities. Okay, can you please help me find which has the economical cost, or what's the cost for this, and what's the living cost in that particular state. Maybe if you find a cheaper master's program in California, and we can give you an example, or New York, both are comparatively same. Um, Living cost is a lot more probably than even the fees. So you have to consider these factors. Like I live in Indiana, but I used to go to California every month when I was doing my doctorate. That was a very expensive decision, but I did my SWOT analysis living because I had a job. It was a CPT, day one CPT program. So I was doing CPT in Fort Wayne. CPT is like curricular practical training. You can work while you study. Mostly some universities offer that program. So that after finish my first master's at Indiana Tech, I went for day one CPT program because I wanted to continue with my OPT, occupational practical training. After my MBA, I was authorized to work for few years, and then I picked the day one CPT program. So I had to travel to California every month. So I did my SWOT analysis. Living in California is much cheaper option for me, or living in 420 is much cheaper option for me. So I looked for roommates in California. So I had to have share my room with like 4 different students, and the cost was like equally the same as traveling cost. So if I live in 420, that was much cheaper for me. It was costing me around saving me $1,000 per month. So, but when I'm a DSO, I ask my students to live in Fort Wayne because traveling sometimes is kind of very challenging. Sometimes there's snow in Fort Wayne. Sometimes the roads are icy. So those students who are living next to the university, they can come to the class. But students who are coming from Ohio or Chicago, Indianapolis, who lives in the suburbs, it's hard for them to come. So they cannot miss more than one class. So that's the challenging part. But it's up to you. But there are universities you can find for less. Okay. What should, ma'am, Amir Mushtaq, ma'am, what should we mention extracurricular? Okay, so here extracurricular mostly is about undergrad students, those students who play sports and they want to come on a athletic scholarship, but it depends on university to university. So far, we do not have a scholarship for cricket here. Uh, I'm not sure. Some universities they play basketball, baseball, but every university you check what kind of sports they play. Okay, maybe your university in Pakistan they have a collaboration with NAIA or athletic company. There's a third party where coaches go and they check, okay, what athletes you have, and they pick and choose which athletes to offer scholarship. So if another university is offering them a better scholarship, so those students go to another university. So mostly our track and field, which Indiana Tech is famous for, they get full scholarship. Then they choose Indiana Tech because other university they may not have offered the full scholarship to them. So they would rather pick and choose, okay, what is better for me financial wise? So they come to Indiana Tech. So different sports. Talking about cricket, we do not have cricket at Indiana Tech, but I just recently started this cricket club, and all my Indian and Pakistani students they play cricket every following Saturday. So, and then yeah, that's fun. So yeah, that's kind of you can always have your own cricket club or any other club, photography club, or whichever you interest, even which university you go to, and their department can allow you to open your own club. Okay. So I hope I answered that question. Okay, the next question is how do universities evaluate students who have a study gap, like a professional engineer with master's but 7 years gap because working? Okay, how to bridge that? Okay. For gap, like since you're working, so you finish your undergrad or finish your ma engineering, and then you have, so you're talking about work gap, right? So you have been working. So yeah, so in your personal statement, you can mention, I have been working. So that's actually a strong statement for you that you were not sitting and doing nothing. So after finish your education, you are in a professional field and you have been working, and getting a recommendation letter from them would actually help as well. And I don't see that's a problem for any university. We do get accept so many students, and they have worked for like 10 years. Sometimes they have worked for 15 years. Recently, we accepted a student, international student, who had worked for like 25 years. So yeah, after finishing their undergrad, they have been working nonstop, and they are in their 50s. So we accepted that student. So profession, but that's the thing. When you go to a visa officer, that's the story you have to, your if your story is strong, and if you're not intending to tell them, oh, you have a plan to stay in United States, then yes, your application is not that strong. But you have to convince them that you are just in United States to finish your master's and go get back to your home country and work there. How you're gonna change your work ethics, or how you're gonna change what you're gonna bring to change in your home country. So that's the main part. Okay. Dr. Rafula, what about postdoc? Please guide and support. So for postdoc, mostly students who would finish your PhDs, postdoctoral studies are offered in the same universities, and mostly it's funded. So in US, PhD is mostly funded, but you have to find that school. Uh, there are so many websites that will tell you these websites. Okay, these universities, they offer full scholarship, and you will be working in university for 20 hours or so, or work under the professor or assistant or something. So mostly postdoctoral studies are funded, and but you have to just find that. Okay. I was not able to find a PhD, but I was searching for PhD. I I just explained, I did the SWOT analysis, and I was like, okay, either I want to do PhD or I want to do DBA. DBA is Doctor in Business Administration, is just like MBA. So you do the doctoral part, DBA. So I did SWOT analysis. It took me like 2 weeks, and I realized, okay, I want to do DBA because there is a very big difference between both. PhD is mostly for teaching or academics. If you want to stay in that field, DBA is mostly about you using the same um, theories in business, and you're applying them in a set of different environment. So in PhD, you're creating your own theory, you're creating your own thesis or something. But DBA, you're still doing the thesis and dissertation, but you're not creating a new theory or something. So I realized, okay, DBA. So do the SWOT analysis for that too. If you want to do postdoctoral and PhD or DBA. And there are so many schools which offer DBA, but the main part, mostly DBA, Doctor in Business Administration, they are not funded. Okay. A lecturer is willing to provide me a LOR. Is it acceptable for it? Yes, it is acceptable. So, which is good. So always get your letter of recommendation when you're graduating, or keep in touch with them through LinkedIn or any other media. Some schools have WhatsApp groups, and you can still stay in touch with your professor. So depending what's the medium of social media or they're choosing. Okay. Is GRE mandatory if a student has a GPA of 3.0 in masters? I'm talking about a STEM degree. Again, talking about holistic approach, every university is different. Um, some universities require GRE, some universities do not. So it's not linked with GPA. Yeah, like example, Indiana Tech does not require GRE or GMAT. Some universities do require, even if your GPA is 2.5. If the GRE is good, they will see the whole application process. Okay, where do you stand? It's not just the GPA all the time. It's your whole fit. Either you are a best fit for that university, for that master's, for that program or not. So that's how they evaluate you. Okay. With the uncertainty and employers' reluctance to sponsor OPT and H-1B, is this a good time to go for MBA MS? Very good question. Yeah, sometimes we have no control on geopolitics, and now not many students are getting visas at this moment. But this happened 2018 as well. So there was a phase of 1 to 2 years. But I would still think it's a land of opportunities. You can still get OPT. OPT is not a question. It's the H-1B. So H-1B is for, I believe it's for something who is coming from another country. But if you're already finishing your master's in the United States and you're working your OPT, if it's a STEM degree, you get 1 year of authorization to work, and then you can get 2 more years of work authorization as long as that work is linked with the degree you completed. Like if you finish cybersecurity, the job has to be related to cybersecurity, not just assistant for someone or like kind of these kind of small jobs. Okay, right. I think I answer your question. So yeah, so timing, yeah, timing wise, I sometimes, I mean, I do not have an actual answer for that, but there are few things we cannot predict or we cannot recommend. Okay, this is the right time, but always I think it's good to be positive and optimistic, and why not? Okay. Is masters on year-round admission? Okay. Or we target fall semester only, asking as an international applicant. Yes. So like if we talk about Purdue or if we talk about Harvard, they only have it takes once a year, I think, in the fall, and sometimes they have spring applications. In Canada, we have a rolling over admission. We have admission in January, then we have admission in March, then June, then August, then October. So every 2 months, technically, we have admission, but every university is different. When we go to the website, you see when is the next rolling admission coming in. Okay. And how to get postdoc in US. If you're planning to do your PhD in United States, or DBA, whichever your preference, when you apply that, you can apply for that. But you already have a PhD, look for all the universities offering postdoctoral studies, get connected with them, talk to your advisor, and show, probably they will ask you statement of purpose or what kind of research you want to do, and linking with your current doctoral studies, what you want to do in your postdoctoral. You have to submit a dissertation, like what you want to do. So, and then they will work with you. It's not the admission part, but you are directly working with the same advisor with whom you're going to work for next 2 to 3 years. And some university, they offer scholarship if they think you are the perfect fit for that department. So finding the university in this scenario and talking to the advisor. So there might be a couple of more advisors in that particular area. So talk to everyone with whom you want to work. They are evaluating you and you're also evaluating. Either you want to work with that advisor or not. So it's two ways. Okay. Okay. I did a BCom associate degree in 2015 and did BBA 2.5 years in 2023. Okay. And this is a 6 year gap in between the two. I was doing a job, which is good. Like if you were working, you were not just sitting idle. Should I do ECA beforehand? Is there any chance to get admitted and secure visa for a PhD? Okay. So you have already I missed the part that you have finished your master's, so BBA. So I think for PhD, I mean, if I talk about Indiana Tech, we do not have a PhD program yet, but I maybe in future we do have. But talking about just, let's suppose if we just talk about Indiana Tech, you have a BBA for 2.5 years. Okay, so you come for master's first. Okay, then you are, yeah, you did mention master. Finish your master's, you run away your OPT, and then you get your PhD. So you can find PhD in any university. There are so many universities offering PhD. Some are funded, some are not. But depending what you want to do. Like once I applied for the university and they were just offering PhD in rhetorical analysis, and when I looked up, okay, I don't think I want to do that. Even if you get a scholarship for that, you just don't want to do that PhD just because you get a scholarship for that. So check what you actually intend to do. What are your goals? What are your future if you looks like. So it has to be aligned with everything. Just like university, they're finding a candidate best fit for that program. You're actually finding a university, okay, which fits with your statement of purpose, which fits your with your SWOT analysis, with your personality and what you want to do in your career. Okay. Is it possible to get scholarship on 2.73? Yes, we just covered in the start of this. It's not just about the GPA, it's the whole fit. That's the holistic approach is about. US university, they just don't look at the GPA only. They look at other factors. They look at English proficiency, they look at statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, and what they are actually wanting to as a total fit, not just the GPA. Okay. Right. So of course, in order to answer, yes, why not? You can get a scholarship for that too. Does Indiana Tech offer research projects in collaboration with health and tech industries in a form like research assistantship or research? Okay, so in Pakistan, we do not have a collaboration yet, but if you think you have any lead or something, email me and I would love to collaborate with those institutes. I will talk to them. Maybe we can have a collaboration. But so far, we do not have any such thing for that. Okay. But shoot me a message and I can check. Maybe we do a collaboration with that. Okay. Regarding of the session will be yes, I think Ms. Sharbano is recording this session where to ask questions. Okay. You can if it's about my university, yes, you can always ask me. If it's not even about my university, I will try to get more information on that. So you can always email me qxsafdar@indianatech.edu. Yeah. If someone is pivoting into another research area for PhD from their previous masters, but have concrete certification with hands-on experience in their new area, machine learning. Okay, machine learning. Okay, in healthcare or and have working experience without another master's. Okay, so if you already have a half PhD program, like you have already started working on the PhD program, there are some institutes they can take your transfer credits, but we have to find that university for you, that which university is actually gonna work and let you admit into a PhD program. But again, check what you actually are intending to do. You mentioned you have certification in their new area like machine learning or health in healthcare. So look up healthcare, machine learning, PhD in that particular area or United States. And once you get to find the university, talk to them. Okay, I have this certification. I want to do this. Uh, how can I proceed or what kind of scholarships you have? Talk to the universities, talk to the advisor. And first you have to get their contact person who can answer these questions. Sometimes admissions department, they are not able to answer that question. You have to work with the advisor. Okay, so that's how PhD programs work. You find the advisor, and if you get connected with the advisor, ask these questions. Okay, right. So yeah, if you have a certain number of education level, you do not have to do another master's, it depending on universities. So mostly universities are accepting that. Okay. Which sort of extracurricular will focus for engineering degree? For engineering, like again, different universities they require different kind of set of skills. So first check their requirement page, what they're actually looking for, and then customize your statement of purpose as per that. That oh, I have did this. Okay, I have done this. At Indiana Tech, we do not require statement of purpose, but different university, Purdue, I think they require statement of purpose, and big schools they do require. Indiana Tech is a small private college, not college, university. So some things we do not require, like GRE, GMAT, letter of recommendation, or similar purpose. We do not require that. Okay. Not question, but compliment. It was excellent presentation because things were kept clear. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Muhammad Anwar. Okay. Can you recommend that should we go abroad for undergrad or PhD? You missed the master's part. Okay. It's at Tech, let's suppose if we have 200 students, I'm example, so far we have like 800 international students, talking about international, mostly those students who are from Europe, they're athletes. They play soccer, they play ice hockey, they play basketball, baseball, and these kind of sports. So they have their working with coaches and they get scholarships. So students who are coming from Asian side, like Pakistan, India, Nepal, they are mostly non-athletes, and very few are undergrad. So at Indiana Tech, our population for undergrad is kind of low as compared to master's program. So this is how the division is, but different universities, if they offer scholarships, yes. So the percentage undergrad and grad, they vary. Uh, if you have a choice of coming to US for your undergrad, why not? You know, so if you get a good scholarship, why not? So it's up to you when is the calling, when you want to come, and when you want to do more for your career. And so there's no specific time when to come, but it's up to you what you want to do. Okay, how to apply? If you're talking about just Indiana Tech, I can just show you our website quickly. We have 5 minutes left, I think. So we go to indianatech.edu, www.indianatech.edu, and then you go to admissions page, and then you go to international. I'm just giving you an example of Indiana Tech because I work here. Otherwise, in this presentation, it's mostly about every university. So you go to any university, you go to their admissions page, and then you go to click on international. So this is about grad and this is about undergrad. So for grad, if we talk about degree programs and how to apply, so this is the page. I will, so yes, so you apply here. Okay. So every university has their own page and you just have to click on apply. Okay. All right. Did we get another year of OPT after DBA or did the university file for your PR green card? Okay, excellent question. So every level of education, you get OPT. Like for undergrad, if that's a STEM undergrad, you get 3 years of OPT. For masters, you get STEM, you get 3 years of OPT. Talking about STEM, if we look at degree programs, so these are the STEM degrees. So in first time, MBA is also considered STEM if you do the master's in business analytics. Rest we have non-STEM degree, which is healthcare, HR, management, marketing, project management. So how it works. So you do your STEM master's, you get 3 years of OPT. You do non-STEM masters, you get 1 year of OPT. And when you do DBA or PhD, I think PhD, you get work authorization as well. So depending what kind of PhD or DBA is that. For PR and green card, so if you finish your master's and you start your PhD at this particular place, okay, and they really like you, they can file for your green card. Okay, so that's how green card works. So they do not have to, but it's only up to your performance. Here, GPA doesn't count. Here, your performance matters. How you're fit for that particular organization is same as master's program as well. It's same as holistic review, which we are just doing today to know how you fit in that particular organization. Okay, I don't think there is any other question. Okay, there is. How to apply for MBA scholarship Indiana Tech and GRE is compulsory. There's no GRE for Indiana Tech requirement and MBA scholarship since we are Midwest and our fees are already very low than national average rate. So our master's program you can finish in like 18,000, which is very economical. So yeah. So we don't have scholarship for masters here. So yeah, but you can work up to 20 hours on campus where you get a job. And yeah, so we have right now 25 Pakistani students and we have like 600 Indian students and we have so many students undergrad, mostly from Europe. And we do have some masters from Hungary and different other Nepal and these kind of countries. Yes, yes. Sherbana, am I on time?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for taking the time out for us today. And so the recording of the session will be made available on Education USA Pakistan's YouTube page in a few days, I believe. So maybe we can check back next week. So yeah, I learned a lot. Thank you, Annie, and I'm glad that you were able to answer all the questions. Thank you for that, and I hope that we have more sessions together in the
Yes,
future.
yes, I would love to collab with you. Yep, yep. Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.